What's up, guys? Welcome to day 8. Um, Before we get started, if you are wondering why I'm posting these videos late, or not post them at all, actually I didn't post it yesterday because it takes a while to first upload. But second of all, I'm starting to work, and so I would usually start really early in the morning, and it doesn't get done till like mid-afternoon. So that's why you see me start posting videos a lot later the past 2 times. So yeah, I'm working, that's why I'm not able to post videos earlier. But besides that, I would like to read 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10 as a way to begin our day, I guess. Begin our time. So yeah, here it is for 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. So yeah, let's dive into Genesis chapter 25. Today will be actually a lot shorter day than other days. So yeah, so let's get started. Verse 1 of chapter 5. Abraham married another wife, whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Zimran, Jakshan, Madan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shah. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dadan. Dadan's descendants were the Asherites, Letushites, and Lumnites. Madian's sons were Ephraim, Epher, Hanek, Abadad, and Eldah. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. The sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimran, Jakshan, Madan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shah. The sons of Jakshan were Sheba and Dadan. The sons of Midian were Ephra, Hanok, Abadad, and Eldah. All these were descendants of Abraham through his concubine Keturah. That's just like basically summarize it up in First Chronicles chapter 1 verses 32 and 33. And so we're right back into Genesis again, chapter 25 verse 12. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here is a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tamar, Jetur, Nepish, and Kadama. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of 12 tribes named after him, listed according to the places they settled and camped. Ishmael lived for 137 years. Then he breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Asher. There they lived in open hostility toward all their relatives. To summarize up his family of Ishmael, 1 Chronicles chapter 1 verses 28. through 31. The sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. These are their genealogical records. The sons of Ishmael were Nebaioth, the oldest, Gadar, Abiel, Mitsam, Mishma, Duma, Masa, Hadad, Tamar, Jether, Nephish, and Kadama. These were the sons of Ishmael. Isaac, in 1 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 34, it says, Abraham was the father of Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. This is the account of family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethel the Aramean from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins, but the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask the Lord about it. Why is this happening to me? She asked. And the Lord told her, the sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she had indeed have twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair, like a fur coat, so they named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hands grasping Esau's ankle, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died at a ripe old age. Having lived a long and satisfying life, he breathed his last, enjoying his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites, and when he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Beer-lahai-roi in the Negev. And so that would end our time for today. And like I said, it is a really short chapter. But yeah, just not a lot to analyze, just because most of it is all about about Jacob's descendants from another wife named Keturah, which I never heard of. I've always thought Abraham had Sarah as his only wife, but apparently he had other wives besides Sarah. Let me just check to see what this verse says. Okay, what this book says about Abraham's second wife. But yeah, I never heard of Abraham having a second wife and stuff, which is interesting. Yeah, this version also says he has a wife, his second wife, so that's interesting. That he has another wife. But yeah, basically in that from verse 1 through 4, it talks about his family descendants through his marriage with Keturah. Then from verses 12 to 18, it talks about Ishmael's family branch. And it's really interesting because I, again, did not know that he had 12 sons, just like Jacob, who had also 12 sons. So yeah, it's like, and they all have their own nations, which is really cool. It's just like, I'm wondering like if over half of the world population is all descendants from Abraham. It's just because of how many of his family made their own nations and countries. And so I wonder if, I mean, okay, maybe I kind of exaggerated when I said over half population, but I'm wondering like what majority of the world population is the descendants of Abraham. But yeah, and then Isaac, then we know the story of Jacob and Esau, how they were born and stuff. But I did not know that Rebecca was able to bear a child too, like Sarah. Yeah, that's like kind of really parallel in a sense. It is parallel to what Sarah's situation is. Sarah was not able to bear a child, but God was able to work beyond the expectations of norms, like what normal people would have expected. Yeah, and how Isaac or Jacob's family is also kind of like the next 12, because Ishmael came first, and then later like Isaac came along. They're not in the same, I mean, I guess they're in the same family because they share the same father, but like they're not like nuclear family. So Ishmael is not Jacob's father. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just interesting how like Ishmael's descendants has 12 sons, and so does Jacob, and that also parallels with each other. Yeah, so that's what kind of basically about from verses 19 through 26. Then I really like how Ishmael came back from his homeland to come bury his father. It just really shows how like he never he moved past beyond being rejected by his father. I mean, not rejected, but like being sent away. He could have felt a lot of rejections, but instead he takes the high road and still respects his father by coming to his funeral and burying him, which I really admire. Like kind of like a hidden hero in a sense, because like nobody ever acknowledges him being a hero for anything, but I feel like he's a hero in this story because he's able to move past the hurt that he must have endured from being sent away by his own father, and still have the courage to come back home to help his stepbrother to bury their own father. And so other than that, I don't have a lot more to say. Like I said, it is a short chapter, like a short day, I guess. So yeah, before we leave, I would like to read, hold on, I would like to read Psalm of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 1, where it says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." And I really like that verse because it really helps me to see like how it's talking about the legacy that you can leave once you passed away. You're gonna leave a legacy. It could either be a bad legacy or a good legacy. And Abraham, with him passing, he definitely left a good legacy after him, because he helped people even though they're not part of his family, in the ways like where he was able to provide food and protection for strangers. But not only that, he set a great example of what God's relationship with the human should be like or look like. And I hope that we can look up to him and be inspired by the way he interacts with God, and by the way his actions shows his faith. And so yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else for us. And so may you go and walk with peace and grace, or may peace and grace be with you this week.